Hey guys, what's up? Back again. I guess I'm just going to make this a thing after I see a movie. My first thoughts. So I just got done with the Thunderbolts. Uh, I saw Sinners. I can't do a first thoughts off of that since I had somebody. So I might come back and talk about that movie at a later time. Super informal. Just saying my first thoughts while driving on the way back home. Thunderbolts, it was a fantastic movie. Really good. Really solid. I like Captain America Brave New World. You know, Anthony Mackie's my boy, but I gotta give it Thunderbolts. I mean, that was hot. That was a really good movie. I'm just gonna start off. I mean, I'm not a huge Marvel Comics fan, so I don't know all the intricacies and all the stories that have, been in Marvel. So I can loosely kind of understand what they're setting up by the end of it, but I won't really get into that. Talk about more about the movie itself. First thoughts, honestly, I mean, it was really solid. It wasn't. It was action packed for sure. I don't know honestly, I don't really know where the time went by. If I'm being honest, it was a 2 hour 6 minute movie, 2 hour movie, and dude, it just went by. So I guess that's a good sign of a good movie. I mean, man, I get there wasn't really a point where it really slowed down. It was kind of like I think it had a really good pacing to it. It was kind of like, point to point to point. It all flew together pretty nicely. The start was well established. It set up, a whole entire premise of the movie pretty well, and then it went into the middle part where they all get together. Spoilers, they all, they become a team. I guess the main thing that I could really draw from this was, the themes. So I'll go into that more, since I feel like that was really more of what the movie was about. It was a superhero movie, and I gotta say, superhero movies are my favorite genre because they can put like a lighter spin or heavier topics. I'm not a huge fan of like really dark themes or topic. I like coming out of movies with hope. So, depressing drama movies, they never really inspired me to go see them because, I mean, life's already depressing enough. I don't really need to walk out of a movie being like scared watching a horror movie, or being depressed watching a drama, or be like any more, I guess, despondent of like romantic situation watching like, romantic movies like that. Superhero movies always have been my favorite because they inspire hope, they inspire you to change, and this movie does a really good job of inspiring me, not only to be better, but also to enjoy and cherish your connections. You can't really see me that much, but I'm not really an intimate guy. I'm staying in the office. I keep people at arm's distance, so I can really resonate with the team a lot. And it's a lot of people nowadays. It's not just me. I mean, as a society, we see ourselves becoming less and less communal, less and less social. There's so many barriers that we put up, I guess, against each other. There's so many barriers we put up subconsciously or physically against, fellow people, that it kind of get lost to what the human spirit is about. And this movie did like a really good job kind of illustrating that, showcasing that, especially when you get to the part where the Sentry shows up. I don't really want to spoil this, so I'm going to be as vague as possible with some things. You did those Sentries in the movie. I'm sorry about that. The villain in the movie, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but if you know anything about the Sentry, you can kind of guess who the villain is. And I think they did a really good job of kind of showing you, the true extent of what it is, and how dangerous it can be. Being that state, being that darkness, is like quicksand. You fall deeper and deeper and deeper, and it gets harder and harder to get out. I mean, I might be in the middle of it right now. So, if it hit, it really hit, especially when the end part, the resolution. That's one of my favorite things, especially in superhero movies, when the end of a conflict isn't solved by pure violence alone. It's solved by, something else. I love myself a good final battle. I love myself a good, final scene in game and all that stuff. It's great. I love that. There's also times where there's a time to solve things with violence. There's a time to solve things in different ways, and I really appreciate the way that they solved the climax of this movie. This just goes to show that you don't always need to be the strongest person. You don't always have to be the toughest to be able to make a difference. I mean, the Thunderbolts is literally just a team of like C-tier not even heroes, like anti-heroes, like former villains, reformed villains. I mean, they're all at one point they were an antagonist in the movie. So, I mean, there's a lot of different themes going on. There's a thing of change, a thing of acceptance, found family, a theme of community. Because I mean, having the weight of the world on your shoulders is something that no one can do. It doesn't matter how tough you are, how strong you are, how good you might think you are, because there's always this voice in the back of your head telling you you're not. And there could be people who do a really good job of hiding that, but we all have our own insecurities. We all have our own fears, our own darkness inside of us, and you can't face that alone. You just can't. I know from experience. I know from living my life. I know people who have dealt with loneliness, depression, and that. You can't dig yourself out that hole. You dug yourself into there, but the only real thing you can do to get out of it is to get help. Sometimes that's the bravest thing that a person can do. That's the best thing that a hero can do. It's not always about being the strongest. It's not always about being the guy, being the best. Sometimes it's just about being able to help people who are important to you. And with all the distractions going on nowadays, not even just nowadays, with all the distractions going on in life, in the totality of the human experience, it's hard to always remember that. But I mean, no matter what your differences are, depending on how big the differences are, if you love somebody, you cherish them, whether they're a friend, family, or someone you have an intimate relationship with. I mean, the reason you have that connection is because you feel something in each other that it makes you feel a little bit more whole. And I think that's something that's truly valuable. I mean, at the end of the day, the more and more I see, the less and less I value stuff like money and fame and all that other stuff, because you see so many people with so much stuff and they're still empty inside. They're motionless. They seem like they can have it all and still nothing matters. Because, I mean, the human experience isn't about objects. It's not about what you can get, but it's about who you can help. It's about who you can connect with. And the movie does a really good job of showing that. The meaning of life is all just it's a journey in of itself, and the destination is the journey. I mean, the saying, it's not the journey is a destination, but the destination is the journey. I mean, the part of life is the journey. It's the people you connect with, what you learn, what you can grow, who you can learn from, what the experiences you make, because without it, we are not ourselves. We are a culmination of the experience and people that we meet that affect us. Without other people, we can't forge our own personality. We can't forge ourselves. It's kind of like a oxymoronic thing. It's like we are ourselves because of people around us, and the same goes both ways. There's a better word for it, but I don't want to sit here and just for the whole entire video. So I'm trying to keep it short and concise, but this is just off the top of my dome while I'm driving, trying not to die. So it's not that clean, it's not that concise, but it is what it is. It's just something. This is just something I like to do now, to be able to talk about my thoughts. So back to the movie itself. I mean, it's not really a very good movie conversation. It's more of a, I guess, talking about the themes of the movie itself. I mean, if we're going to circle back to the movie, inside the Marvel universe itself, it sets up a really interesting dynamic about how the universe is going to go. Not just taking into account, what happens at the end of the movie, but before, the very end, like post-credit scene, stay for the post-credit. But it also, at the end of the movie, kind of sets up a lot of questions, like, what's going to be the future of it? What are the next couple movies going to set up before Doomsday comes in? Like, how is everything going to be connected? Is Doomsday going to be like an ultimatum situation? I don't know. There's a lot of questions that this movie has, especially going off of Brave New World. I was thinking of the old time New World Order, but coming off to Captain America, how that movie ended up, and then how this movie ends up. They're contradictory, but they kind of address that at the end. So I'm really wondering, what's the next team going to look like? They're setting up a whole swath of different teams, because before we kind of had like the Avengers and the Guardians, and that was kind of it. You had Doctor Strange, his little magic corner, but he didn't really have a team. But now he's running off with Galactus' daughter, or not, Dormammu's daughter. I don't know her name, but it showed up at the end of Multiverse of Madness. So now they have a little magic team with Doctor Strange, Wong, and her, and I guess America Chavez too. So that's kind of like setting up their own, sorcerer team. Then you have this team, the Thunderbolts, Asterix, and then you have the team that's set up by, Captain America, who's going to be the Avengers. So I'm trying to see how this is going to go, because you still got the Guardians up in space. You got the little magic force going on with Doctor Strange, his baddie, and Wong in America. And you got inklings of a Young Avengers being set up with things like the Marvels, or Miss Marvel, Hawkeye. There's a couple more teenage heroes out there. So there's a lot of different teams that are being set up for the future. I'm really excited to see how they maneuver this whole entire situation, how they deal with, these different teams, how they interact with somebody. So after this, I'm really excited to see what the next movie is about. Not just the Fantastic Four, but also the next Avengers movie, because, it's looking like it's going to be a whole mess. In a good way. It's going to be a mess of different characters interacting with each other. Oh my God, these roads are terrible. Holy crap, I feel like I'm going to die. So this is the last video you guys see from me. I end up like dying in my car right now. I just want you guys to know that Thunderbolts is a great movie. Great MCU movies. One of the best. I really enjoyed it. Go watch it. And, if I post again, that means I didn't die on this road. And I probably can't get monetized for this because I said the D word, but it's not going to happen anyway. I'm not going to get enough views to monetize this. I just want to, say what I think about while I drive, and, maybe post my last messages when I'm on this terrible road. Anyways, if anybody watched this thing, I really appreciate it. Tell me what you thought about the Thunderbolts. How does it compare to, the old MCU movies? Where'd you rank it? I had to give it a ranking. It was 9 out of 10. It's a great movie, fantastic movie. I recommend everybody see it, and I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four. I'm looking forward to Avengers Doomsday. It's looking up for the MCU. Like, that previous, cycle of movies wasn't the best, but I never gave it hope. I knew that they were just setting things up. And now I'm really excited to see what this new era of the MCU looks like. It's new, it's different, all new, all different Marvel. I'm here for it. You got Sam Wilson, Captain America. You got the Thunderbolts. You got the Guardians. You got the Magic Force. Dark Avengers, I think. No, that's Norman Osborn's group. Wherever the Magic people are going to call themselves. There's a lot of moving pieces. I'm excited to see how they all interconnect. So, anyway, I've been rambling too much. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched to the end, leave a comment. Let me know how you thought of the movie, and let me know what's the next superhero movie you're excited about. What's the next superhero movie you're excited about, and what's the next movie you're excited about? And if anybody wants to see me talk about Sinners, let me know. I'm going to talk about it anyway, but if somebody in the comments say you want to see me talk about Sinners, that'll make me feel really good, so I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. See ya.